Welcome back, everybody. Hello, and Manuia Tausaga foe. That is Samoan for Happy New Year. And when I bring my buddy Gio on, he'll say Happy New Year to you in his native language. Just want to welcome you back. Welcome everybody back to the Roots of Barbering channel, and thank everyone for those that have clicked the subscribe and the likes. And if you like what you're seeing now, we ask you to do the same. Gio, are you there, brother?
Selamat Tahun Baru semua. Yeah, man, that's Happy New Year in Indonesian, Malaysian.
Well, say that again. That was kind of smooth. Say that again.
Selamat Tahun Baru. Selamat Tahun Baru.
Selamat.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Cool. I like
Kind of like,
smooth,
it's
smooth.
kind of like salam, and
Yeah.
a little bit. It's I think Indonesian is more like a singing language. You got that same thing, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah. We got a lot of vowels, man, in our language. A
Yeah,
lot of vowels. Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah. Well, Happy New Year, brother.
Happy
Good to
New
see you,
Year.
man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Been a
How'd
couple
you?
of days. Yeah, it was a good New Year, man. You did nothing. I did nothing.
Told you I was in bed by 8 o'clock, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah, brother. We're here to talk about something that was, I think, that really that's out now. A movie that's out now that really touches on uh, a subject that we covered already about purpose and finding your why. And in the movie itself, it actually had an amazing barbershop scene that kind of spoke to all of that. And that's the movie Soul, the Disney Pixar collaboration featuring Jamie Foxx. And how did you? I know you saw the movie. How powerful was that for you to watch?
man, we talked about it so many times, your purpose, your why, your everything,
Yeah,
what is your goal in this in profession, in this craft, but also in life, and I think Walt Disney put it down like how it should be, man, and I
yeah,
mean, like, if Walt Disney already sees it, I
yeah,
hope everybody in this world that does this craft also see it, because
yeah.
everybody knows Walt Disney is not only for kids, but also send a message to a lot of parents and a lot of
Oh, for sure.
grown-ups, right? And
Yeah, I think they do a great job of that because they know the parents have to take the kid. Well, I mean, theaters are now closed, but generally when they would have those theater releases, a lot of the messages catered to the older people as well that are in there because they have to take the kids, right? So
yep.
some of the subliminal or the deeper messages are above the kid's head. They see the animation and stuff and one level of it, but it can touch the adults just as much. And I think this one really did. So if you haven't watched the movie, maybe you want to stop watching this so we don't give you any spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
You can find it streaming on Disney. You've got the Disney Plus,
Yeah.
but it's out there. And then come back and watch this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I gotta make a note of that. Spoiler alert, man.
Yes, spoiler. So stop now. So
Stop
no
now.
spoilers.
Watch it, man. Yeah, man.
Okay, so now still here. We guess you already watched it. So there's the scene. Gio and I were touching on the scene where the main character, Joe Gardner, goes into the barbershop to get his hair fixed, right? And especially if you're looking to get into the trade new, right, as an apprentice or a newly licensed barber, or man, even for the barbers that are veterans that have been at the game for a long time, but they've sort of lost touch on why they started doing this all in the first place, which is easy to do.
Yeah,
You
man.
get barbering is very repetitious, so you can go to the shop, say same thing, do haircuts, go home, go to the shop, do haircuts, go home. Then over time you start losing that little light, the little flicker, little flame that ignites you and ignites your desire to do something that really brings you a lot of joy and passion, right? So the barbershop scene, as it related to us in terms of somebody finding their passion and their purpose later in life, the barber found it later in life. um, it wasn't what he initially set out in life to do, but it's something that came across his path and it's something that he found himself very good at. And I think that's a lot of us. A lot of us.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something, I think if it's your purpose, or it's something you really want to do. Some things you cannot plan, man.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of things a lot of people don't plan. I didn't plan to
Yeah.
do this, I wanted to be a
Yeah.
pilot, man. I wanted to be
Yeah.
somebody who do buildings and stuff, drawing, architecture and everything,
Yeah.
But school didn't happen like that, man. I made my
Yeah.
choices for life, and if you make a choice for life, sometimes they are bad choices, but
Yeah.
um, it's 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 still your choice. You have to back your choices in life as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for now, I was fortunate to be lucky and to be successful in what I do right now. I don't know how it fits in 10 years, but I just talked to a friend of mine. He had a barbershop for 11 years, and
Mm.
we were in school for 23 years ago, and his name is Jordy. And shout out to Jordy, man. Um, Man, he was talented. We always hung around. We already knew each other for like kids, man. And we lost each other with eye contact, and we met each other in fucking school, man. you know.
Mm.
And he had a barber shop, but he posted just yesterday or the day before. He posted like, "Yo, man, it's the end of the road for me." And his message was like, I don't feel the passion where I started before that.
Mm.
That also
Mm.
can happen. And I mean, like, it's nothing to
Yeah.
shame for it. Um,
Oh.
you just have to do what feels good. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it's not there no more with your whole soul, mind, body, and soul, you have to quit and
Yeah.
search for something else, or you already found something. But
Yeah.
I think this is a good capture of what the movie said. Like, hey man, some things
Yeah.
come on your way, you just do it. But hey man, even like
Yeah.
he said, like um, the ghost said to him, like, yo, hey man, now you're stuck. And then he suddenly said,
Yeah.
like, no, ho, 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 no, man, that's
Yeah.
not
He
the
says
thing,
you're
man.
unhappy. He even said like you're not happy. Yeah. You're stuck and you're not
Yeah,
happy,
exactly,
right, or
yeah.
something to that regard.
But he said like, "Oh man, yo man, I'm very happy that I do this, that I found my purpose," and that's a good message as well, because I think that's the best message you can have, right, and should have, because for me, anything what you do without motivation or anything, you shouldn't do that. Oh, and
Yeah.
people have to bear that
Yeah.
in mind. Sometimes you come to situations that have to do something else. Just do it. You gotta be happy with what you do, right? Nobody else can make you happy,
Yeah.
and it's your choice to be happy. So if your choice should quit or start with it, do it. And do it with a full engagement, man. Because if you don't do it with full engagement, you're gonna be stuck halfway, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that part of the scene too, when he was saying, look, I may not be, flying planes or whatever was his, but I'm out here making people look good, saving lives,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And so when he showed, that scene where, and if you watch that scene carefully, you'll notice that the even the girl or the girl inside the main character's body says like, why, something about sitting in this chair makes me want to tell you
Yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that is the part of the barbering, that is the big part of the relationship building in barbering, which we try to reinforce and emphasize, is that, when he showed the haircut, like, the haircut looked great and then when he showed it to him, but the biggest thing that they focused on in the movie was the experience that he got being able to sit in the chair and
Yep.
talk and talk and talk, right? So even when they left, the barber came out and said, "Hey man, like, I'm really glad we got to talk and I got to,
Get to know each other.
hear more
Yeah,
about
yeah,
you know, and we weren't just talking about jazz,
yeah,
right?"
man.
And he says, "Well, why didn't we do this before?" And the barber's position is that it's the customer's time in the chair. They're the boss, right? He would say, "You're the boss, so you talk about what you want to talk about, and I'll, even if it means like I got to listen to jazz once a month for 12 months, then that's what I have to do, right?" So the consistency in relationship building is one, understanding when to talk and letting the customer talk, but also building that relationship where the customer feels open to talk about anything they want to talk
Yeah,
about,
man,
right?
for sure.
And that's what allows the that kind of level of trust to build, and that's what allows clientele to be built, is because you're building a relationship one client at a time, you know. And even the main character in the cat's face was like, because you always want to talk about jazz, and he was looking at it like, oh, even he realized like maybe I do just it is I it's important for me to build the relationship with Des the barber so I can get to know some about him too, which it is a two-way street when you get to that point of relationship building with your
Yeah,
clients.
man. I think that was a good message. I think even when he like you said, when he told him, hey man, he never talked about that. Because you didn't ask.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
simple questions, like, hey, yeah,
Yeah,
man, if you
yeah,
are interested in me, you gotta ask, man, and I won't
yeah,
tell things just to tell
yeah,
them, If you want to know my
right,
history, if you want to know things about my past, you gotta ask the right
yeah,
questions, and then you get the right answers or some answers, And I think this movie will make me happy. Like, for instance, your daughter said, like, yeah, we talked that before camera, and
oh yeah,
she
yeah,
said, like, hey man, that dude looks like you, man. Even my wifey, she
yeah,
said,
yeah,
like, man, this dude, man, that reminds me of you. You're not that old, but still, his
yeah,
common
yeah,
thoughts and his
yeah,
the talking, it seemed like you, man.
yeah,
And I said, yeah, man, this is how I treat life. Um, I think we both did a pretty cool job, surviving
yeah,
2020, and that's all
yeah,
about like giving and taking, right? Mutual respect to your customers, and they have it with you. And
yeah,
I think some things you have to, like the character said, like the barber said, like, not about money, man. Just like giving something to somebody, what is genuine, also is
yeah,
honest. Yeah. And like I said, some things are just on your way and on the road, and you got to pick them up, and you have to see the signs. Hey man, this is something
yeah,
for me, and I need to do that.
yeah.
That's
And it's okay, like what if I can go back to your friend Jordy, and his post about this is the end of his road for maybe in relation to his barbering career goals, and there is no shame in that. There is the same thing within that movie at the end, like his lifelong purpose dream was to
yeah,
play
man.
right on a stage in the jazz band, and then at the end of it he was like, so what's
Yeah,
next, right? And we just, oh, that's it, we just come back and do it again tomorrow. And so I think once you reach a goal and you feel your purpose has been fulfilled, it's okay to say like, well, let me go find another purpose and another goal, because that's what keeps life interesting, and it's what keeps the wheel revolving and moving forward. And
yeah,
barbering, it is easy to get stuck in a rut, and it is easy to say like, oh man, like this just feels, after you've got the excitement out and you've been doing it for a little while, you may say, well, this is kind of like my other job, man. I'm just going and going and going and going. And it can become that when you lose sight again of like why you did it in the first place. You really got to go back and see, okay, go in the filing cabinet and say, okay, where is my first day? Like, where did this? Oh, here it is. And this is why I did
yeah,
it, right?
yeah,
Because when you lose that flicker of light, man, when you lose that drive and that meaning, yeah, this is gonna be another job, man. It's gonna be another, it will end up feeling like another dead end job because you're just caught in the movements and caught in the everyday routine.
yeah, man.
Uh,
The thing, I see a lot of people post. Oh yeah, we look like twins right now, man, dude. I just yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, but yeah, we look like twins, but you got the ability to grow it back. I don't. So shit. So now you're just playing with me, bro. Now you're just playing with me, man. Teasing me. Shit.
No, but I think like a lot of people talk about that job, I don't treat this as a job. I see that as my hobby. I see that as something that I enjoy. Um but
And
paperwork.
that's because you're like you and I are like 22, like the character 22,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
go
yeah,
around aimlessly looking for something, a reason to do something that makes you just not lost, not just like the guy said he was lost once and he was lost playing Tetris. Like this,
yeah.
you could get lost in a lot of things, right? And so it wasn't until you get that life spark, that last piece that says like that wakes you up and says like, man, this is it. This is what I want to do,
Mm,
man. And we found that later in life. We had done other careers and other jobs
yeah, man.
before that spark hit us.
Yeah, and
So
that's the thing, right? I mean, like, I hate the term "I love my job" because, like I said, I don't treat it as a job. This is something. This is my life, you know. It's not a job.
yeah,
I treat it as something that is my life. It's a daily
yeah,
routine. You wake up, take a shower, do your coffee, do your breakfast, walk the
yeah,
dogs, go to a certain part of my life that I always do every day. And for me,
yeah,
if I'm starting treating this like a job, I need to look for a job, because if I treat this
yeah,
this profession, this craft as a job, I'm not at the right place, man. And
yeah,
that's also a good advice to a lot of people. If you feel that is a job, maybe you really need to find something, and find a
yeah,
place in your heart and in your mind, is this the right choice for me? Because there's not a shameful thing, to change your profession or anything, but it takes a lifetime, to have regrets, and man, you don't want to live with a regret, and
yeah.
I mean, like, there's always time for a change, and you always.
Well, a big part of that too, Gio, I think, is balance,
Hmm.
right? I mean, when you come in as a barber and you work, it's been different this past year with the last year with the pandemic. But generally, when you come in as a new barber or even barbering in general, like you work a lot, right? You know that if you're not cutting hair, you're not making any
Yep.
money. So you work, you put in a lot of hours. Sometimes you put in regular 8. There in the past, I've tried doing 12-hour days straight, with no break, and I realize I'm too old for that, man. But when you're younger, you can go 12, 14-hour days, and so when you run at that pace for a long time, that you're gonna burn out,
Yeah.
man. So there's times within your career that you're gonna feel burnt out. Like take a step back, take some time off, go on a vacation, you know. Um, and a lot of us might feel like, well, I ain't got time to vacation. If I go on vacation, I'm not making no money. Like, don't let the money drive you,
Mm.
right? Don't let that be the driving force behind becoming a barber, because yeah, you can make some good money, but it's going to require you in the beginning to work a lot, right? And then you don't want work to take away from the balance of rest, from the balance of time with your family and loved
Mhm.
ones, from the balance of having hobbies, right? A well-rounded barber is someone that has the balance of
Yeah.
both, right? And it'll sustain you, balance those two.
You should, man, because I have one guy working in my shop, Alberto, the young barber.
Shout out to Young Barber.
Yeah, man, he's a great cat, man. Now he's 19. He started with me when he just has his exams and was just 18. In the beginning
Damn.
of his career, I told him, man, I'm gonna put you on 4 days.
Yeah.
Why? Because I have enough experience in my life that 5 days of work, especially
Yeah.
when you're a young cat, you can do that for 2 years, 3 years, but after the fourth year, you're kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you see your friends going out and doing a lot of stuff. You need to enjoy your life. It's not
Yeah.
about that working ethic like we have right now, because we need to survive to open and close the shop every day,
Yeah.
and we have to pay our bills and our dues and everything. But for these cats, they're my employers. I need to pay them. And I already said to him, like, yo, man, just work 4 days. You have enough days, for yourself,
Yeah.
for your friends, for your
Yeah.
family. And
Yeah.
if you change your mind at 25 or something like that, and maybe even later, then you think like, hey, maybe you got a wifey, maybe you got whatever, a partner or something. You need to have more money. You can always work more.
Yeah.
But if you work 5 days and work less, you already build up a certain kind of lifestyle for yourself. And to cut down your payment or
Yeah.
things what you already accomplished for those 5 days, because
Yeah.
that's a bargain, man. Because
Yeah.
trim down all your money, that is a
Yeah.
hard thing to do, for a lot of
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
to build up, that's way easier, man. So even for people that just start, man, everybody wants to work full time, but sometimes it's not always a good option, if you want to enjoy your
Yeah.
life. But I think if you enjoy life, you also have to think about like what to spend and what not.
Yeah.
Because we live in a material kind of world right now, and everything costs money, man. But
Yeah.
you also have to find the enjoyments that don't cost a lot of money. Like you said, that's
Yeah.
family, that's friends, that's a lot of things, nature, whatever. So you gotta enjoy that as well, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we were talking about what my daughter's review of the movie and what she saw in the likeness in her likeness of me in the main character, right? With
Yeah,
the hat or the
yeah,
style or the fact that he lived alone most of the time, right? Or
yeah.
like all the time. And so, she was saying not only just the similarity of the barber shop and that experience that he had, and she even mentioned like the main character enjoyed the experience, is what she said, right, of
Mm-hmm.
being in the barber shop. So she said she felt there was a lot of similarities to me, but then she was also mostly saying like because you live by yourself and purpose this whole time has just been to build and provide for me and my brother. Like I feel bad because I'm like, this is my dad just lives by himself and he doesn't do anything else.
hey,
I
hey,
was like, oh,
ain't no women in his
ouch.
life, man. He gotta have some real women. Hey, man, shout out to MJ. If you need to tag, hey, send him a DM. If you want to date
Yeah,
him, because otherwise he's so lonely, man. He's just waiting for
yeah.
slide-ins from DM from all these women.
Oh man, but like when I thought about it and I watched this movie, here he died, or he was in this zone area, gray area, and then they sent him back. He got to relive his life, but through the eyes of a cat looking at a different soul in his body, enjoying his life the way that he probably wasn't, right? And so when he got that second chance, at the end when he walks out, like he says, he doesn't know what's next, but he's excited for what is to come, and he steps out of his house with a smile on his face, ready to tackle the world. And so, like even myself, like yeah, there is some similarities with me now in 2021, and sort of being an older cat at 50. Like yeah, now 2021 is going to be a great year, right? Or for anybody else that gets stuck in a rut and feels that they've lost their passion, like man, refine it, find another way, right? Find something that you can appreciate being a barber, and why you become a barber is to provide or to take care of. Um, even if I was to lose, if I felt my spark for barbering was going to go out, like I felt the flame just kind of going down, man, I guess some paper, some firewood. Come on, baby, stay alive, stay alive.
Yeah, man. I got the
Don't go
same.
out, man.
Yeah, I got the same thing, man. It's you gotta find enjoyments in what you do,
Yeah,
right? I mean, like I
yeah,
find enjoyment in what we do right now.
yeah,
I lost a little bit of spark just because of the upcoming Instagram reality kind of
yeah,
shizzles. You
yeah,
have to
yeah.
do reels, you have to do stories, you have to
Oh
write
yeah,
captions and blah de blah de blah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, I have no time to do that, man.
I
It's a
know.
full time job
I feel
to,
yeah, both of you and I feel that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I see all these
And
cats.
that's just for this one, because then we have our other pages to manage for our barbershops,
Yeah,
right?
man.
So yeah,
So that's kind of consuming, And when I work, well, when I do my work, and that's just cutting hair, I want to
yeah,
spend all my time with people that is in the shop and not on my phone. Of course, I will look at my phone and try to make comments, and
yeah,
try to be interacting with people. But
yeah,
they also need to interact with me, because otherwise, I have nothing to tell, man. What
Yeah.
should I tell the world, man? How my life is or whatever, No,
Yeah.
man, I'm not gonna do that. You gotta visit my shop, to know that, I'm
Yeah.
not giving
Yeah.
anything for price, I mean, like, that's the interesting thing of a barbershop and shop. You get to know certain things, the outer world doesn't know about you. And I think customers and people that come in your shop, really attract to that shop just because you're
Yeah.
personal with that as well,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And it's not in everybody's personality to be personal, right? It's you can
no,
learn it. You can. I think most barbers, if they will watch that scene, there's a lot of barbers that watch that scene where the customer's doing all the talking. Like they would prefer for that to happen, right? They would
exactly,
prefer
yeah,
not to
yeah,
talk themselves. But there is an art of small talk that you have to learn to at
yeah.
least be able to communicate with your customers at some point during the service, right? Even if they don't talk and you don't talk, that's going to make for a very awkward and likely a non-repeat. It's not going to be a repeat service for some, right?
No, man.
Uh, it man, this was a couple years ago. I saw something on Instagram from a barber page, and it said like it was for the holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and
Mm-hmm.
he was saying, "This is my standard conversations." It was a grid of 4 boxes. He said, "This is my standard conversations. How's your family? What are you doing for the holidays? Are you traveling for the holidays?" And I forget what the other one was, something like that. Like, I mean, if it comes down to that, we have to have that and then have something to help you make that dialogue and that connection happen. Because without a connection from soul to soul, from person to person, from heart to heart, um, your clientele building days are going to be short, man. And
Yeah,
short
man.
by the means of like you won't last in the industry because you can't just rely on the skill of a good haircut only. It won't
No.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and this is why I love that title as well, from the
yeah,
movie Soul.
yeah,
It has
yeah,
so much in depth of it, because you
yeah,
you can look at as soul, you
yeah,
can have it as
yeah,
soul as music, but also
yeah,
your soul.
yeah,
And there's so
yeah.
many captures in
Yeah.
that title, and I
I'm gonna
just
change my last name. I'm gonna spell my last name now with Soulofa. So
yeah, exactly, yeah, man. It's fucking unbelievable, man. And this is something, y'all guys, you have to have some soul also in yourself, barbershop, and people really see the genuine.
yeah,
And no, man, never forget your roots. That's something, what's really important. Why you do it? What's your purpose? And I hope you guys watch that movie, man. I think everybody's gonna be in tears, man.
yeah.
Even I had swept the tear, man.
I'm sitting there watching by myself, like, don't do it, MJ. Don't do it,
Yeah, man.
man. Don't.
Don't do it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, it was great. Great timing for the movie. Great, excellent content, not just from a barber's perspective,
No,
but from a
no.
life perspective. Go out and find purpose in your life. We survived 2020, and now we're in a new year. And I know many of us had said, like, I can't wait for this year to be over. I can't wait for 2020 to be done. Well, now it's done. So what are we going to do moving forward, right? What are you going to do for yourself moving forward, and what purpose will you choose for yourself going forward?
Yep.
Um, and I think the movie does a great job of reminding us of that as we set off into the new year. So,
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching again, man. Hope you have a great 2021,
yes,
and
sir.
we wish you all the best for the upcoming time, Still, everybody's still in lockdown, but I hope everything is gonna be great, and find your purpose in life, man. That's what this
Amen.
thing is always about, man. Love you, brother.
Yeah. Love you, bro. Hey, my new purpose is to try and get some hair back if I can. That's my new purpose. God bless everybody. Happy New
God
Year.
bless.